My name is Brother Benedict Maria. I'm a monk of Portsmouth Abbey in Rhode Island. Our house is one of the 3 English houses in United States, and we belong to a congregation called English Benedictine Congregation. We all assemble together in a Benedictine federation, and we are Benedictine monks. I will be ordained as a priest this May 2nd of 2025. And I look forward to this. And this is my vocation story, which I'm sharing here. I'm born and raised in Andaman and Nicobar Islands in India. These islands are more closer to Thailand, Singapore, and Malaysia on the eastern side, but they're still part of India. They're really close over on the other side of the coast. And I'm born and raised there. I had Catholic education till my 12th grade. I'm a cradle Catholic, and my parents come from a long traditional Catholic villages of Latin Rite in India. And I have 3 siblings. I have 2 elder sisters and 1 elder brother. My initial formation as a good Catholic happened in my hometown in Andaman Islands at home, and I had a faith encounter with Jesus Youth when I was studying in college in mainland India. I did my engineering there, and I worked there for 3.5 years before coming to Philadelphia to work for the same company. So I worked as a software engineer. My faith encounter happened at the end of my college time, and it was an experience of God's love in a Jesus Youth retreat, and that changed my life. And later in 2010, when I attended the Jubilee Conference with Jesus Youth, I found my vocation to priesthood in the conference. I knew the Lord is calling me for a religious vocation. I did not know how, where, and when, but I started discerning seriously from 2010 onwards. I came to United States. I was working as a software engineer for a multinational company. Then I worked a couple of years for a smaller company. I was discerning to be a Jesuit, but God is filled with surprises. I have a spiritual director in Philadelphia who is a Jesuit. But God guided me through his spiritual direction, ultimately ending up in Portsmouth Abbey. And this is strange but true. I was surprised when I realized that I'm called for a monastic vocation. And that happened when I visited my monastery, Portsmouth Abbey, when I came there for self-retreats. I have come there once before when receiving the call. And then I came back again to do the same thing which I did previous time when I visited the Abbey for 7 days. So it was during Christmas time, where you can go to the monastery and do a self-retreat and just be with the monks, pray all the offices with them. The monks pray 5 times a day. So the normal routine begins at 5:45 in the morning. Then we have Mass at 7:20. In between these 2 things, there is 1 hour of private prayer. Then you have another prayer at 11:45, followed by lunch. And then evening time is kind of a consecrated time for monks. So it starts with Vespers at 5:30, 6 p.m. dinner, 6:30 you have a community time, you speak to the monks at that time, and then 7 p.m. night prayer. And it's almost like a Groundhog Day, so the day repeats itself after that. Every single day goes that way. But there is a beauty to it, because in between all these hours, there is a constant communication with God. And that beauty attracted me. And when I received my call first time, doing the same thing for 7 days, there is in between hours, which are free hours, you can ask for manual work, and one of the monks will help you, and you can do some kind of small thing in and around the monastery. And when I received the call, I was totally surprised and shocked, because the silence could be overwhelming in the monastery, and silence in the world, as you all might agree with me. There is so much distraction here. Silence is almost considered bad. So silence was too much for me to take, but I gave in. I was thinking that I will not make it for 40 days in my monastery, but I'm still there. So I'm surprised by the way how the Lord has led me through this vocation. I joined the monastery, I gave in and joined the monastery in 2017 of July, and I did 6 months of postulancy. Then on December 26th of that year, they clothed me with this monastic habit, and I have been given a name, Benedict, at that time. So when you become a monk, you give up everything. As part of that, you also give up your name, and the monks give you a new name, and that's the name I have now, Benedict. Maria is my last name. It might be surprising to some of you, but my father's name is Maria Anthony. In India, people take father's name as initials. So to shorten up my last name, I only took Maria from his first name. So that's how my name becomes Benedict Maria. And what happened after my clothing as a monk is where I discovered that I belong in this monastery where I am right now in Portsmouth Abbey. My novitiate happened in one of our sister monasteries in St. Louis. And during my novitiate time, I realized the first 6 months of postulancy where I was me and God alone mode, knowing that God is calling me to be in solitude and in prayer with Him. During my novitiate time, I realized it's not only me and God, it's about me, God, and community. St. Louis Abbey became a place where they taught me the wholeness of commandments, loving God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and then loving your neighbor as yourself. And that happened during the time of novitiate. I spent there for 1.5 years, and everything which was going inside me and God unfolded in an outward way as me, God, and my brothers and my community. I came back to Portsmouth Abbey Monastery, and I did my junior years there. I had a wonderful formation in Portsmouth Abbey. We are a very tight-knit and happy community, and the monks love me and I love them. There is so much beauty to it, and we have a community around the monastery as well, because we run a boarding school and there are many faculty and staff who work there. So by the time 2021 happened, November 1st, when I made my solemn profession, I knew exactly what the Lord is calling me to be. The silence was not overwhelming anymore. The silence has taken an interior form where it has become active, and it has turned into a place of conversation with God, which is a beautiful thing to have. I have learned various aspects of contemplative prayer, and I knew the Lord was calling me for further to study and become a priest. And that journey took me back again out of the monastery here at St. Vincent de Paul Seminary in Boynton Beach, where I did my priestly studies to become a priest. And the seminary provided me an environment where I was able to live as a monk, but also a seminarian, being a seminarian, to receive that formation which is required for me to cater to people, especially going back to my abbey and doing things around the abbey, and especially for our own community and community in the school, to kind of provide for them as a priest. So I look forward to become a monk priest, which is a very unique way of looking at things. And the time I spent in seminary, I also had opportunity to connect back with a Jesus Youth family here in Florida and also nationwide. I have been to a few conferences during this time with Jesus Youth and enjoy their companionship and love again, and know that this family is always there praying for me, and they send their prayers to me and I send my prayers to them from my monastery. So it's a beautiful exchange of love, not only in a monastic community, but also connecting with Jesus Youth Community worldwide, especially in United States. So it's been a time of grace for me to realize all this goodness which the Lord has given me. And now I'm looking forward to become a monk priest, where my goal of life would be taking all these prayers and suffering of people of God and knowing that I connect with them in my humanity, my weaknesses and my strengths and my joy, and placing them on the altar. And whenever given opportunity to be able to hear the confessions from people and reconciling them to God the Father in His Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.